mute it properly. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, that's not correct. Let me fix that. That's correct. Yay! I fixed things. Anyway, so you now are left to your own devices for a period of time. Like, none of you have a water clock, so you can only assume that the person must have some kind of water clock, or maybe a magical version of it that she's got, since this place seems to have a lot of magic to it, unusually. Or alchemy too. Alchemy and magic seems to have be very prevalent in this area. But anyway, so unfortunately for you, you don't have quite an accurate amount of time. But if one of you wants to roll me a survival, you could maybe get a good judgment of what a few hours would be before you have to clear out the room.
That's easy.
Let's see how terribly this all goes.
Wow.
Oh.
That was a terrible roll.
Okay. So,
I finally got a good roll.
I'm too preoccupied with the fact that this place has no sense of magic about it.
Yeah. Like, there's been one thing that actually is detected as magic so far, and the rest of it's just weird and doesn't.
Yeah, and that's what's so disturbing, is like, well, why would they go through the effort of covering up all this extra magic, but not that magic?
Yes.
Maybe
you don't know, because with the amount of rooms here that seems to be here, you could only assume that it's like a maybe they have like a team of people creating magical items, you know, almost mass produced, like a group of workers together. You don't know. It's kind of unusual. But no, Therzi, Mishka, you can kind of like keep a judgment, kind of give an estimation of how long you have. You got a little while. The three of you, what do you want to do in the meantime? You do have the option of walking to, it was given to you, if you want to walk into town, or you could figure out a way to take this bus that the proprietress spoke of.
I'd rather walk. I'm not trusting any of this. This is all strange.
But we don't know how far everything. Maybe it could be helpful.
Maybe what?
Maybe it could be helpful.
If it's anything like that car beast, it'll get us there faster, but I don't know. None of this is sitting right with me.
I would very much like to explore, find out where exactly we are. I don't recognize any of this.
I mean, the maps match it, the city names match it, but that's about it. Well, if you do want to travel on your own, you do recall the proprietress mentioned taking some water with you. And you, I mean, I don't know if you each have water skins and how much you have in it. You might have full water skins for all I know. You were wandering around the desert at night and probably didn't have to use a lot of it.
Yeah, I am going to fill up my water skin.
You figure more than likely the smaller basin, because it looks a lot like the big tub basin, is maybe like a drinking version of it, or like a hand washing station, but you probably could fill it with water. The water that you got from the tub was actually quite fresh.
I'll fill it up from the drinking station.
Mm-hmm. Drinking and hand washing station. As you instruct the others in the ways of bathrooming, as you have learned. Look, you can have it warm water or cool water. Ooh.
Yeah, Mishka will fill hers up too.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, as far as you know, you know that you have traveled in the direction of Calimport along the Black Road. But as to how far it is, they mentioned a amount of miles. You know, we're gonna stick with the measurements are the same, or at least they sound like it. You know, they probably could have used like you might have more accurately used something like furlong, but I'm just gonna stick with everybody use miles because I don't want to use conversion charts and have my brain even break even more.
Yeah, conversion.
Yeah.
Unnecessary complexity is not
Converting
necessary.
is hard.
I don't think it's hard for me, just, I'm brain not wake enough, today for a lot of it. So, yeah, miles. She said it was about 10 miles to the edge of town. So you can assume that maybe the next bit of buildings are 10 miles away down the road. Which is quite a walk. That would be hours.
Are we going to check out that cool thing first? Or should we just start walking?
You've assumed that she's talking about the large actual pool of water in the thing that doesn't seem very drinkable. So maybe it's got other uses.
Seems like a cooling pool, something you dip in to cool off.
You don't see any signs of it being a communal bath. It is very outdoors. So that sounds pretty logical that, it's a desert. Maybe dipping yourself in some water that seems mostly clean is nice after hard days of walking. Or driving in car beasts. Yeah, you see a man go up to this pool, if you kind of pay attention to it, in it looks like his undergarments, maybe? They're very colorful undergarments, which is very unusual. Like undershorts or something, And just kind of jump into the water and start swimming around.
I think my original assessment was accurate.
Yeah.
He seems the only one that's using it right now. You do see occasionally, if you kind of pay attention to the area, a couple of other people that seem to have been staying here, getting up. Some of them seem to be just doing some basic things. Others seem to be packing up their car beasts to leave. Putting trunks of whatever goods they were bringing with them, rather than backpacks like you were having. So it also seems much more fancy for, small handheld trunks. Wow.
With wheels?
Yeah, one of them's got, little wheels on it. That's such a smart idea. A trunk with wheels on it so that you can pull around the trunk and don't have to lift it. Man, why didn't you think of that before? It seems so obvious, but yet maybe mechanically it's very difficult.
We should try to get one of those.
Once we exchange this money, we should get.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Alright, are you heading out then? We're gonna hang around a little longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm willing to head out. What do you guys want?
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we can go. Should we tell the lady that we're not taking the bus thing?
I mean, well, perhaps we should tell her we're done with the room.
Good idea. Just be nice about it. I don't want her to be angry again.
The lady will be back there. She's gonna be yawning, like, oh, you caught me at the end of my shift today. Great. Been a long one. Had a double today. You returning the key? Done with the room?
Yes.
You lock up all right?
I assume you would lock the door.
I mean, yes, like with most inns that have locks on them, you probably would lock the door when you're done, kind of thing, you know.
Yes, it is.
All right. Look. Do you have a way of keeping in touch with anybody?
No.
Do you have B? I do not.
Okay.
Not unless you have unless you have some sort of quick letter delivery service.
Right. I know our mutual friend said that he would be willing to pay if anything happens. I'll hit him up, but if you want to remain on any of our good graces, I would recommend, contacting one of us when you get some cash and letting us know. It'll be 100 lira. Just know that for the damages, for the room. I can probably comp it down to 50. Just to let you know, if you get it timely, I can probably do that. If we don't hear from you in a while, I might have to charge it, and I might have to give it to him. So you can either probably hit him up at the station down the way, or you can stop by here, or here.
Would you be willing to accept a piece? Perhaps we could just give you a piece of gold and call it even.
I am not sure of the exchange rate of gold in order to exchange it with you, and besides the fact, I don't think our owner would like me trying to exchange it in order to pay for the room. You should be able to find a place in town. Well, here's what it is. She's going to pull off what looks to be a smaller piece of paper from a pile of them. She's going to kind of tear it off and bring out what looks to be like a very compact, maybe quill or ink pen. Quickly write something down and be like, here, these are our numbers. This is the top one here, number for here. Edge of the Desert Motel. So, if you want to contact me directly here, that's the way to do it. This number here, our friend's number. You can contact him that way.
Nod.
This one here, my number. Seem like interesting folks, a little messed up, but interesting folks. I'm hoping you don't have some kind of heat stroke that is causing your problems rather than drugs. But if so, if you haven't been taking something to mess with your minds, I would recommend going to a hospital soon. There should be one midtown.
Very well.
That in mind.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to take the bus, or are you gonna hoof it there? So you left a little early. I assume maybe you want to hoof it.
Yeah, we're gonna walk over there.
Good luck to you. You'll be in. It'll be quite a ways to walk to Midtown. It's only a couple hours. It's probably only a couple hours to get to the city itself, but to Midtown probably a little longer. Just good luck to you. And she's gonna get back to work. Leaving the motel. It is certainly hot out. It's desert. You've all traveled in this desert before, so you're not, like, completely not used to it. You definitely have encountered it. It does feel like it's a little hotter than you left it. That kind of reflects on maybe a season change, at least. I mean, a lot of things have changed since you were in your lair, and you're not sure how they or why they changed, but they did. But at very least, the seasons seem reasonable with your estimation. Just a hot summer in the desert day. A few hours of travel. Your water skins are fairly tapped for that point in time, you know, keeping yourself hydrated, but you'll start to come into an area that seems to be buildings. There's a couple sparsely broken apart what looks to be houses. 2 stories, which is a lot more traditional in like an actual town than out in the out farther away from it. But these are separated out. Normally the 2-story houses are a little closer together in the town. They've got some space in between them, but maybe that's just desert dealings. You're not sure. It's unusual. There's some vehicles, some more car beasts, including some of those large, like the large one you saw, which you assumed is maybe a relative of a car beast, that first one you saw, the large, very loud one. You see a few more of those, and smaller car beasts traveling around this road. Are you walking down the middle of it where these car beasts going, or are you staying to the side of it?
To the side.
Stay aside, yeah.
Yeah. You get the feeling that those car beasts, they might not stop, they might trample you if you're not careful. They are large.
Well, they are beasts.
And they are quick beasts. Just.
Also, when it comes to the houses,
They don't sound
like,
very happy.
We've been around here technically for a little while. This 2-story houses, I mean, it doesn't make the desert different.
No, but, like, I feel like I'm trying to say, like, you know, houses that seem separated from a city are usually a lot smaller. You know, a lot more rural, like hunters or farmers. These seem more like the houses you'd see just in the center of town. Which maybe means these car beasts are fast. Maybe they can live on the side of town, at the edge of town, and like and move into a shop or a job of some kind.
Yeah.
As you get into town, you find that there seems to be many buildings, kind of huddled together in various ways. The area you are in seems to have a number of large buildings. You're not sure what they're used for. But you also find that there is a kind of gray pathway on either side of the Car Beast Road. After a little while of like walking on it, you notice that other people are too. So this seems to be where people walk now. It seems interesting that they've separated them out. Maybe because car beasts are so fast and mean and don't seem to stop for anything. Except for, now you've noticed, some of them stop for orange. There's these orange lights that seem to appear. Stop them.
Wait.
Yeah. And then the lights change and are blue, and they move again. It seems to be controlling where groups of car beasts are going in different directions. Maybe they travel so fast that if you didn't stop them, they would just hit into each other. And so they stop them and you know, almost like a lever switching between the two of them. It looks as though that the walkway crosses one of the car beast roads. You see a little light in front of you with what looks to be the palm of a hand as a car beast kind of speeds in front of you. You could go to the right and follow the pathway you're on, though it looks like painted across here. Looks almost like lines, as if connecting here, like a bridge of paint across the road.
Wondering if this is some sort of some more magic. I put my hand up to the hand symbol.
Mm-hmm. Nothing seems to be happening, but all of a sudden, you will notice that the strange lights, the one on the pathway you're on turns orange. The one next to you turns blue. You can notice this. And then the hand symbol changes to what appears to be a kind of figure, a very loose figure of someone maybe taking a stroll.
They have some weird customs here.
Oh, I'm gonna put my hand out as well and cautiously start crossing like this.
Mm-hmm. You'll see like a car beast come up like and slow down in front of you and kind of waiting to your side, as if waiting at that orange light. You'll hear it kind of roaring a little bit as you kind of like wander across. All of a sudden, the person disappears and a blinking hand up starts coming.
Oh, do I have to do this now?
I put my hand on my on the hilt of my mace.
Misha's just kind of like shuffling across very quickly.
Mm-hmm. You will manage to get across in time though, as you kind of are looking up at the hand as it goes solid, and then behind you the light turns blue again, and the car beast that was waiting there, kind of revving and roaring, moves on with another loud roar.
What a strange system.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
I pressed the wrong button.
That happens.
I don't remember what I was gonna say anymore.
Look, I had an entire a part of a show where I accidentally didn't unmute the guests.
Oh. Yep.
I thought I'd press the thing to unmute it at the beginning of the show. I did not, and didn't notice then. Anyway, there are plenty of these large buildings here. Most of them seem at least a couple floors high, if not. They have glass, like, windows, it looks like, on the higher floors. You do see something that looks like a metal door, and then some kind of, it looks like a weird door. It's best to describe it, or some kind of maybe portcullis, but unusual. It seems metal and like long strips almost, so you cannot see through it, as if they've been stacked on top of each other, but connected together. That one seems almost large enough for, and the way that the road looks, maybe that's a place that it's a car beast door of some kind, that maybe it works in a special way to allow car beasts into a building. A few more streets, and you come across what appears to be the sleeping lair of car beasts. A large lot of, we see almost like stalls marked out in paint that car beasts seem to be staying in.
These are like the barns for the beast.
Ah.
They seem more well-behaved than most beasts. It seems though that they sleep when there's no people within them. Sleep in these small spots that barely fit them.
These
Seems a little
creatures
cruel.
are very strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they are happy there. Maybe that's why they're so angry all the time.
Ah. There's no water or
Seems-
feed left now.
Yeah, this place, there's like, you see like very few plants. Are any of you trained in Arcana? But have all me roll Arcana first. Let me just say, let's give that. That might be something that can help you out. Okay, looks like Therzy knows something. Therzy,
Hey!
Investigating these car beasts and kind of like the experience you've had with them, the surprise, they are things that look to be, maybe there's some kind of like golem, but different kind of golem most golems require orders from people, so maybe that's why they're only alive. They seem very monstrous when people are in them, when people like ride in them. So you're guessing there's some kind of like maybe golem that some people developed, because they do seem to be made of metal with weird wheels for feet. That explains why they're so fast. Wheels for feet, of course, like a wagon. You're not sure how it moves those wheels, so maybe it has some kind of like muscles or like something magical in its lower side that it causes to move those wheels. But that might explain it. Oh, and Mishka knows, kind of like the two of them can speculate about the magical nature of that, and if it is some kind of golem of some kind or other kind of construct, that would explain why if Vercel is using detect magic, they wouldn't detect. Constructs don't normally get caught with detect magic, since they are a creature rather than a item. It helps hide their magical nature.
This is so strange.
We should get one.
I think we should too.
You have noticed that from your half-orc friend from back in the the gas station, that he seemed to use some kind of key to wake it up. So maybe similar to a construct that requires a rod or a amulet to activate, the car beasts require a key to have them awaken.
Maybe we can find the key somewhere.
I expect I could steal some. Shouldn't be too
Do you
difficult.
think they all use the same?
I don't think so. They all look. You wouldn't want someone else using them, would you? I believe they're all individual. Maybe the ones that are the same color and shape have the same key.
Let's. I guess.
All right. After a little bit more wandering, you will come into an area that has a number of shops, it looks like. This area of town definitely looks to be like... I'll say Therzy, you can kind of recognize this area as being a little bit more like... This entire area is very stone, very metal. There's not a lot of wood. But it seems like a lot of the buildings in this area that you've been exploring have been that way. And I'm going to all notice, you guys have been seeing like massive towers in the distance. So it looks like there's a cluster of towers, maybe towards the center of town. Bigger than anything you've ever seen. You can only guess. They obviously were made with magic.
They scraped the sky.
Yes, exactly. Had to be made with magic. But, again, like it looks like the people here have switched a lot from wood to stone and metal to build their cities. And this area definitely seems a little bit more your style of town. You get the feeling that this is the kind of area that maybe the poorer folks live in. It's a little dirtier. Like, as you can kind of almost recognize it night and day from the two places you were at before. The motel wasn't like, you couldn't say it was like rich in any sense. It had some things that made it seem very unusual and rich. But here, there's definitely a feeling of like downtroddenness a little bit. Things are kind of squished in. You have noticed a few people wandering around the streets in very ragged clothes. So it looks like maybe there's a couple of beggars that live in the area. You guess they're beggars. You've seen
I do
street
prefer
people.
this architecture. I do prefer this architecture. Less wood means less intrusion on forests.
Seems like it'd be stronger too.
Seems like a lot more work.
Yes.
There's a lot of
Yes, it would be.
there's a lot of signage in the area. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, but it seems that there has been some kind of trick of magic that has come about recently that has made certain aspects easier. Perhaps stone cuttings been made easier as well.
I mean, I think you probably would know that there is some stone shaping magic out there. So
Yeah, but it's also like
powerful.
higher level spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you're thinking is like maybe there's someone developed a new spell that was not as powerful, so it'd be a lot easier for a lot of like weaker wizards or spellcasters to cast it, and much more accessible.
Yeah.
So, so the number of businesses are here. It's like again, like the language is close enough to your own common tongue. Like you feel like there's a couple of differences between it, but it's not so bad that you can't understand people when they speak. Occasionally they say words that are unusual or say things in a way that seems a little unusual. Again, it's like you have to think of your almost like ye old common and they're speaking modern common. The written language is what's been a little bit more of a trouble, as it seems like the letters are the same. Some of the words are very close, but there's just little things that are different. These signs all seem to have like words on them. It makes you feel like that maybe a lot more people are literate too in this area. Most adventurous types got into literacy, and there was a pretty decent amount in Faerun, but there were definitely plenty of people that didn't have the ability to read too, especially in smaller places where it wouldn't be useful to learn. Here it seems to be at least something that's more common, especially because most of the businesses have very little symbolism and more words.
It makes sense. It does make sense, at least to me, that the things that are used in more common places, such as street manipulation and movement, seem to be symbology, so still accessible to those who can't read. But it seems that higher ups have even lower higher, I guess, have become more capable in the written tongue.
Why don't you all roll me an insight check to see kind of what you glean from the various signs here and kind of like understand it, because there's a lot of like some words on them that definitely you do not understand because you've never heard of these words before.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Looks like Mishka's the one leading the way on this one. You can glean from some of the signage that one of these stores seems to be a general store of some kind. Or maybe a place that sells, like, it seems to be advertising a number of, like, dried snacks or something. Things that you can get to eat on the road, but not like it doesn't seem like full meal things. There also seems to be a place to a building that is selling the services of a beautician, something that a noble person would have on staff. But perhaps this is a place where common folk can get the work of these, so that you have your on-staff beauticians for your upper class still. But, they've someone started a business where lower class people can get beauty work done. And then, of course, you do have a place that has that seems to be talking about trading gold for money.
I think Mishka points at the gold place. Like, I think this is the place that lady was talking about. where we can get the...
Likely.
Yeah. You know what?
There are three. Those are the three stores on this side of the street. The other side of the street has three other stores, which you can identify as what appears to be maybe an alchemical or herbalist shop. It seems to be, and a small market over there. Plus a building that you're not quite sure what it does. It seems to have like the names of people on it. But other than that, you don't really know what the store would do. But it seems situated next to the market and the herbalist shop. On the other side. Which you've mastered crossing these car-beast roads already. As every time you're holding your hands up and being like... Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think maybe if we can get the money that we need, we can probably go to the market, right?
Yes.
Food would be good.
Yeah. So I guess we go to the cold.
Okay. I have to look up some things. Hey, I have to figure out some things. 11.5 grams. All right. So, oh, here we go. We'll just use that exchange rate. About that. Sure, that works. How many gold coins do you have between you?
I have 10.
Oh, I didn't know how many I had. I got that on.
I don't think I have it.
Your background usually gives you gold coinage. Let's check out. Let's quickly look up at backgrounds. In the book, one of you was a criminal, right? There's the.
I am a criminal pickpocket, yes.
You had a belt pouch containing 15 gold pieces.
Ah, nice.
Mm-hmm. Mishka, what was your background?
Acolyte.
Acolyte? You also have a belt pouch containing 15 gold pieces.
Cool.
The person will weigh your gold. He'll do some tests on it. It seems like some alchemical tests. It seems, though, because you can only insight that perhaps because they use this other type of currency, lira. He's doing what like an exchanger would do for exchanging like gems and stuff for gold. But it seems he's like making tests and stuff, checking it out, investigating it, seeing its price. He will inform you that you have relatively... this is like a kind of elderly gentleman. He looks to be halfling. So he's kind of like... the store itself seems built for medium creatures, but he seems to have accommodated pretty well. It seems like the back of the store is very much so built for him. Rather than like a stool he has to climb up on, he's got like a little set of stairs he can climb up to like the counter for a seat, you know, so he can sit behind the counter. There's some like kind of bars in the way, so like the area seems protected where he's in. At least it's very hard to get into. You can see there's all kinds of objects in here. He seems to have like a container of gold. He's like, wow. I don't see much stuff like this, ever. Look, yeah, I can get you an exchange rate. I can get you a pretty good one. I could probably get you a 50 lira coin.
Well, like, it might be worth more than 50.
Well, you're coming to me. That's the thing. You're coming to me. And I give pretty low... I give probably pretty exact price of gold for things. I'm not in it for exchanging it. For, antiques. If you're looking for antiques trade, you can find an antique store. I don't know if they take something like this. Doubt even a bank would take something like this.
do you think would be worth us going to an antique store instead? I feel like this man maybe had enough.
Do you think we'd be able to get something better anywhere else? I didn't see one.
If you need cash now, I'm the best you got. Because if you're looking for anything else that would even maybe remotely think about buying this kind of stuff from you, you're going to have to go for Old Town. And that's quite a ways away.
How many days' journey is Old Town?
Days? I don't know, I never walked there. Normally it's taxi. Or the buses.
I think we could just get it here. It's pretty decent price.
We get 55 for it, perhaps?
I could probably part with 55, sure.
It's more reasonable.
So how many of them are you giving me?
I'm gonna give him 5 of mine.
Okay.
I don't know, just in case this money is only usable in this town. I don't want to, change it all.
Then he will give you what appears to be paper of some kind. Here's your liras. They have numbers written on them. It seems like a combination that you count out. Doing the base math is the 275 you would get for 5 gold. So he does give you 275 of this paper money, you can only assume, which is very unusual. I mean, like, you've heard of, like, slips used in place of things, but not on large scale of a city.
Yeah.
And most of the time those are, like, merchant slips or something.
I'll give about 10.
Okay. Then you will get 550.
Cool.
I'm only gonna give 3.
Okay. You'll get your 165 then. You'll probably have to find a place to put liras on there because they don't have it on the sheet.
Yeah, I put it as the top one.
I just put it as an extra item.
Yep. Nice doing business with you. He's going to kind of like look over your stuff. If you're looking to pawn any of that stuff, some of that looks like it could be some antiques. I got a cousin who runs a place, buys old items. I mean, again, non-antique store. So probably just give you a good, reasonable price for it. About a couple blocks down, that way. No rush. If you got the cash you need now, good luck to you.
So,
Thank you.
I'm probably looking around a little bit. Have I noticed anyone carrying arms or armor?
No, you're very unusual. You have not seen any melee weapons at all. No bows or anything. As of yet, you've seen no one that has questioned you. You've probably noticed that people will look at your stuff, but look at the way you're dressed and almost seem like, you know, it's like a half moment of like, ooh, weapon, and then like, oh, just pass it off. It's like, you know, similar to the guy looked at you before and maybe said that you were from a certain place. You're getting the feeling that maybe that assumption is working with a lot of people's minds.
I wish to ask.
Yeah?
I have noticed a distinct lack of guards in the area.
Oh. Yeah, there's ain't many patrols by the cops in this area. They show up occasionally, though.
Is that what you call your town watch?
Oh yeah. You're probably from some small place where it's like a sheriff's department or something, but yeah, that's what we call the people in charge keeping everything safe around here. They show up occasionally in here. They're more in some of the other places. Upper town here, not as well protected. keep your eyes out, guys. I mean, like I for one. Well, that's right. You're all ladies. Keep your eyes out, ladies. As far as I know, well, doesn't know about for sale at all. You know.
Nope.
Lizard folk, hard to understand, hard to know. Wait, just keep your eyes out. Might be some dangerous folks around here. Would want to take it. Shoot you, take your things. Not great.
I don't believe they'll be shooting us right.
Good to know.
Yeah. I'd stick to the main road out there if you're just trying to go somewhere. Eventually that should take you into Midtown. At very least. If that's where you're heading. Seems like you've had a story to you, but I'm no one for stories. I'm only here to exchange cash for gold. Hence the name outside.
We're looking, perhaps you could give us directions. We are looking for, and again, I described the building.
Oh boy. That could be something in Old Town, or, it could be, downtown, if it's something like, one of the museums, or one of the colleges. I don't know, I've never been to one place like that. It sounds more classic architecture, though. So I would say either Old Town or downtown is your best bet.
I know.
If you're looking for an exact building and you don't have like you guys got a phone on you or something, you can check it.
Oh.
No.
What is that?
Right. You're gonna have to go talk to my cousin. Down a couple blocks, runs a pawn shop. You can pick up a couple of things there. If you guys don't have a cell phone on you, you're gonna need one. That's maybe why you're all so messed up and you're so out here. I get it. So, couple blocks down, I'll give him a call, say you're coming by. He'll hit you some stuff. Real good deal, real good price. Tell him it's on me, Tobin. And if you ever need to exchange anymore, remember, Tobin's, cash for gold.
I nod.
Thanks. You guys leave now?
He will give you some basic directions to what he calls the pawn shop of his relatives, where you can pick up some goods. Is that, or it's your choice if you want to go to a different store in this area.
Do we want to stop for food first, guys? Or...
You probably are pretty hungry by now.
I have my rations.
Oh yeah, I do have one.
If you have rations, you can use them.
The exchange of goods is a little odd, so I don't think we should be using our lira quite yet. Unless we
Okay.
need to.
We could save it for the pawn shop? That the guy told us about?
Okay. So you'll head out and start heading towards the directions of the pawn shop, while probably snacking on some rations. We will take our second break here. If you need to use bathrooms, drink or snack, anything like that, go ahead and do it. This will probably be a smaller break than the last one, as both me and Worm had to run off and do some things quickly in between the stuff there. So, but we'll be both back. Though I probably might have to run off and check on my niece anyway. So, we'll see how long the break goes. Anyway, be back in a minute, people.